Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday. Hold on just 1 second, guys. I'm going to have to go in the bedroom and see what this daggone cat's into. I hear her doing something in it. She's up to something. Hold on. Cleo, get out of the cat. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Let me see if I can get this board shut. Get off the washer. Oh my goodness, guys, she is into everything. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I could show y'all. I can't get it. Look at her. She's into everything. Everything. Here. I just wanted to show y'all the queen. Knitting artist in hibiscus, Betty Dan Boop. Is that the Betty Boop that I knew from a long time ago around in the community? Or are you a different Betty Boop? I think you might be a different Betty Boop. I love the name because my granny's name is Betty, and she loves Betty Boop. She's been so upset, y'all. You know, it was Emily, my cousin that passed away, 21 years old, my granny's great grandchild. You know, it's my first cousin's daughter. I haven't talked to her, guys. I just didn't want to bother her. I'm going to. I'm going to call her today. But I know that she's had like a bunch of phone calls, a bunch of people around. Hey, Mike, good morning. So, you know, I've not wanted to bother her. I told my mom to tell my uncle that I loved him and stuff. I have got more flack for this name. See, there is another girl. There is another girl, which I like her. I mostly like everybody except for a few creators. Um, but there's another girl that's from my original community. I guess let's see. Like when I started, there was like Molly Golightly and a bunch of other people and a bunch more. That used to be like in one little smile type group, different channels, but everybody's branched out now. But yeah, she's in the drama community, so that's probably why you're getting flack for it. I saw your name around and I was wondering, I was like, is that the same Betty Boot? But it's not. I don't know who she is, but Lordy, I've been told off. Yes, yes. She's into the drama. I mean, I've never had a problem with her. And I'm trying to think of how her name is worded. Oh my gosh, guys, she just knocked the cat food off the counter. Hold on. Hey, Cleo, girl, you got a whole bowl of cat food right here, and you better not knock it off the table. Here, baby. Get it. She just wants to cause mischief, y'all. Just wants to be causing mischief. I hope him catnip treats kick in. Cece, you're looking very lovely this morning. I love when you go on camera. Oh my gosh, I don't got a stitch of makeup on, guys. And actually, I got some steroid cream on my face because I get adult acne sometimes. And the doctor gave my son this cream, try Amsonon or something. And I'm going to tell you what, it about cleared my face up overnight. I don't know if they use this for acne, but it's good. And you know what, Betty Boop? I was just thinking. People should ask you if you're the same one before they just start jumping on you. You know, my friend says women are most beautiful in the morning without makeup on. Oh my goodness. I do got a little bit of a tan, so it probably looked like I had some foundation on. Well, actually, I got a pretty dark tan going on. But anyways, let's get to some true crime. Light them if you got them, y'all. I think pregnant women are pretty knitting artisan. So we're going to talk about CarleeRussell this morning, her boyfriends. Not wanting nobody to say nothing to her. Which, I don't believe in harassing people online. I'm just not that type of person. Even though this girl allegedly has done a messed up thing, we think she's done a messed up thing. I mean, the cops haven't said that she faked her own kidnapping. They didn't say that. But what they told us, the facts, leads us to believe that she did. Could it have been a coincidence? She Googled that movie Taken and watched it. Could have been a coincidence. But what about the bathrobe, the toilet paper, um, the cheesies that was unaccounted for, um, all that? There's a lot of evidence. She even Googled about the Amber Alert, prices of bus tickets. But I'm just not the type of person that where I'm going to go over on their social media and leave a bad comment. If people choose to do that, that's them. I just don't roll that way. I just don't roll that way. But what she has done is messed up. We're gonna read, see what he says. He's hot as hell. He's good looking. Damn. You need to find you a woman that's not crazy, bud. 'Cause this bitch is crazy. CarleeRussell is being. I'm gonna see if I tried to pronounce his name before I went live. Excoriated. I can't say that word. Online, amid growing skepticism of her abduction claim, according to her boyfriend, who is calling on commenters to show some empathy. Okay, hold up a minute. People showed a lot of damn empathy when they was out searching for her little fat ass. I call her fat. I'm the same damn size. That's just an expression. Um, People was showing a lot of damn empathy then. Everybody in the damn community, law enforcement, local law enforcement, the damn FBI, everybody. People that where she worked at the spa, that Saturday was one of the busiest days, and them girls had to work through that day thinking that their coworker had been damn kidnapped. And then after they got off work, worked all day, they went and handed out flyers trying to find their missing coworker, trying to help search for her. So people's pissed off that it appears she faked her damn kidnapping. And people did show a lot of empathy. I hear my rooster cutting a fit. I don't know what he's pissed about. Okay, I want everyone to stop bullying her. I'm going to see if I can say his name right. Is it Thomar Latrell Simmons? Told the New York Post. I know what it seems like, what she did. Just stop bullying her on social media. No, it don't seem like she did it. She did it. I mean, the police have not come right out and said she faked her own kidnapping, but they more or less did with the facts, you know. He added, think about her mental health. She doesn't deserve that. She doesn't. Nobody deserves to be cyberbullied. Well, then maybe y'all need to take y'all's asses off social media because your little girlfriend faked her kidnapping, right? She faked her damn kidnapping. There ain't no two ways about it. She faked it. If she didn't fake it, she'd have went straight to law enforcement if she escaped kidnappers. She'd have went to the first house she came to. Instead, she got away from her kidnappers and run through the woods a little bit. And guess what? She was at her parents' house. She was probably hiding out in the woods around her parents' house the whole time. She probably walked back there through the woods somehow. I want to know about that alleged car that was pulled in front of hers. There was a motorist said he saw her car parked on the shoulder of the road, door open, light on, and then there was another car pulled in front. I believe somebody helped her some way. Or it could have just been a motorist stopping to see if she's okay. I don't know. Okay. Simmons police came after authorities in Hoover, Alabama, just south of Birmingham, released information late this week, raising questions about uh, the truth about the allegations made by Russell that she was kidnapped and held captive. This really makes me mad, guys, because I think about Jamie Kloss. She was really kidnapped. That son of a bitch come in her house, killed her damn parents, and took her and held her, in his cabin underneath the bed. He made her get underneath the bed for months. I thought the girl was dead. And how he spotted her, he was going to work. She was getting off the school bus. He decided he wanted her. So that, it really makes me mad to think about what Jamie went through. And here, this little bitch has faked her kidnapping. You know, if she had really escaped captors, she'd be cooperating with police. She would be wanting them to find those kidnappers, be afraid they would come back for her or kidnap somebody else. Okay, so hold on. I'll read the rest of this. I got to get a smidge of coffee here. Without out. And I'm having to drink black because that milk had a little bit of milk left. It didn't smell good, and I didn't want to put it in my coffee. It's about to ruin. Okay. July 13th, Russell called 911 to report she saw a baby wandering alone on Interstate 459. She stopped along the roadway, but when police responded, neither Russell nor the child were present. Officers found Russell's vehicle, red Mercedes Benz. Wow, Mercedes Benz, along with her phone, a wig, takeout food she had just picked up. Volunteers in local, state, and federal law enforcement searched for the 25-year-old nursing student throughout the community. Then, 2 days after vanishing, Russell reappeared at her parents' home, where she also lived, alleging that she had been kidnapped and held captive. Then she faked her a little panic attack to make it seem real. I think she faked it. Russell said that a man forced her into a vehicle, then into a trailer of a semi truck, that she later was brought to a house, forced to pose naked for photographs. She knew not to say that they raped her because she knew that they would do a rape kit on her, rape test kit, and they wouldn't find no evidence that she had been assaulted. She knew most kidnap victims are bound. She made sure to tell the police because she didn't have no marks on her wrist. So, she made sure to tell them that the kidnapper said, don't tie her up. He didn't want no marks on her wrist. What kidnapper does that? Come on now. They don't give a damn what they do to you when they kidnap you. Investigators also learned Russell had taken a robe and toilet paper from the spa where she worked prior to leaving on July 13th, and that snacks she had just purchased just before the alleged kidnapping were missing from the vehicle when police found it. Yeah, she had to have something to survive on in the woods. She planned on taking off. Crime Online previously reported police chief Nick Durzis said investigators have been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators. Of course, it didn't happen, people. It didn't happen. Now, do I believe people should be going over giving her death threats and stuff like that? No, but people are angry. Her boyfriend needs to realize that. Her parents need to realize that. People were out in the community searching for her. People were worried, sick. People spent a lot of time searching for her. The state spent a lot of money searching for her, and the feds. The feds was in on it too. Russell spoke to police briefly after she returned home, but so far she's declined additional police interviews. Yeah, people are pissed. I mean, the best thing, they need to shut it down for 2 or 3 damn years. Her ass needs to be evaluated and sent somewhere to a hospital because normal people don't do stuff like this for attention. Man, there are some people that just act. I know one right here on YouTube that just try to act like normal as hell, but really they ain't nothing but attention whores. But they're always trying to act like the victim. And, oh my God, they do nothing wrong. And, everybody's always bullying them because they want to be the victim. They love attention. They crave it, thrive off of it. She must crave attention. I noticed that she got a brand new car. I wonder if it was this Mercedes Benz, probably, for graduation. She's a spoiled little brat. In an Instagram post that's no longer available, Simmons, which her boyfriend, previously claimed that Russell fought off her attackers. She was literally fighting for her life for 48 hours. Boy, you look like a fool posting in this. So until she physically and mentally is stable again, she is not able to give any updates or whereabouts on her kidnapper at this very moment, Simmons wrote. No, she had to think about what freaking get her story together better. She knows police is going to call bullshit on this story. That's why she's not talking to them. She thinks she's smart, like saying that she never saw the woman abductor. Well, that's convenient to say. That way she don't got to remember a description and stuff, right? She just got to remember the description of the male. What was it? A white male, orange hair with a bald spot in the back? Come on. Come on. Hey, if she's getting hate, I mean, she kind of deserves it, but I don't believe in like going and leaving hate comments to people. But that's just me. I just don't roll like that. Yeah, it's a complete see. Yeah, she took it. I was just thinking, wonder what she done with that robe. Used it to cover up with at night. She got a little chilly. I mean, it's summertime. It's freaking Alabama. Shouldn't get chilly. She lay it on the ground so she could sit on it so she wouldn't get dark. I mean, I don't know. I bet she wanted to take that food that she got for her mama. I feel like she is going to have to face the music sooner or later. They're going to charge her for this eventually. People's already talking, reporters. They're wanting to know why she has not been charged yet. She needs to be charged with something. What would they charge it for? Would that be obstruction, lying to law enforcement? Lying to law enforcement, the 911 call. They should make her pay back all the money that they used, paying all them officers and stuff to search for her. They even use drones and everything. The feds come in. Uh-huh. Betty Boop, yeah, the feds will charge her. They don't care. She'll probably just get probation, but she should have to pay back all that money. And she does need to be hospitalized because normal people don't do this. And she totally playing this out. You can tell by her internet searches that she did. The cops just can't come out and say that right now because they want to know exactly where she was at while she was missing before they come out and can, you know, you can't falsely report to the feds. You can't falsely, let me see. Let's try to look up and see what happens. Let me get on my phone here. Hold on. So, what should I put? Can you be criminally charged for faking kidnapping? Of course you can. In most states, lying to law enforcement is called filing a false report, which is usually a misdemeanor. Calm down, girls. Typically, penalties for a conviction are up to a year in jail and fines up to $1,000. Okay. Is it illegal? Let me get on here. Here's some kind of forum for this. You know it is. It's lying to law enforcement. At the very least, it would be local equivalent. This is what somebody wrote. Wasting police time, which could be putting other people at risk who are generally in need of assistance. Hoax alarm calls fall in the same category and are no laughing matter. If you try to collect any kind of ransom or insurance, that is fraud with substantial prison time likely if convicted. Yeah. I wonder how long that she planned on hiding out. I believe she couldn't handle it out in the woods with the mosquitoes and stuff. Oh my gosh, the mosquitoes will eat you up, especially if you've got good smelling lotion and stuff on. She probably didn't think about that. Of course, she could have had some bug repellent in the car or something somewhere, but she probably didn't think about that. She seems to me like another Jessie Smollett. Can you believe that asshole? got them guys to act like, they was beating him up and what was they doing? Like kidnapping him or whatever. He totally ruined his career. And this girl has probably ruined her nursing career. I'm not sure. Nobody probably wouldn't want to hire her. I know that spa fired her ass. I knew the other day when um, that spa put out a statement and they said everything that they had and stuff they'd give to law enforcement. I was like, well, what in the hell do they have? Because you could tell they knew something. They knew something about it. I knew she'd done something. She even Googled how to take money from a register without anybody knowing. There's no way to do that. I hope she realizes that. You'll get caught because when you work like at a store or something, restaurant, you start out with so much money in your register you put in there every day. There's no way to take money out without getting caught. Your register will come up short. Unless you just don't charge people, unless you just don't ring up orders or merchandise. That would be the only way. Let's not forget she had that, what was it, $106, $107 in her sock. You mean the kidnappers didn't find that? Come on now. You would be able to see that. Yeah, Sherry Papini. God, isn't she a freaking nut? Yeah, she forgets the internet is literally forever. It does not, even if you delete your search history, it's still there. It's still there. It's in the like on a computer, it's like in the hard drive. They didn't want her feet to get caught. Bless their hearts. They're really nice kidnappers. They didn't sexually assault her. Um, they didn't bind her wrist to make marks on them or anything. They didn't try to chase her down and capture her. The last time she got away from them, because she claimed she got away from them, and they caught her and put her in a car or something. Thank you, Betty. I'm not professional at doing this true crime. I love true crime, and I just like to read it and give these weirdos hell. You got to laugh while you're doing it. I try to because some of these kids' cases really, really bother me. And I think it's because, well, for one, it's awful, but I was abused as a child. I know what that feels like. Why am I froze up? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get back over here to Crime Online. It's not wanting to. It's not wanting to load up on me. Let me get out of it. Betty Boop. I'm glad you caught it too, girl. Um, are you from Dorothy's? Did I see you in Dorothy? See, I got a bad memory, short term memory because of my PTSD and ADHD. But did I see you in Dorothy's? I know Dorothy's very controversial, but I like Dorothy. I can't freaking help it. I do. I like. No, you're not from Dorothy's. Where I saw you somewheres. I can't remember. Now I like a lot of people that other people don't like. So don't hold that against me. That don't mean I agree with whatever they say. And if somebody's talking about somebody that I actually like and stuff, because I get along with almost everybody, I just don't participate in the chat and things. LFT. I'm on a lot of true crime channels. Okay, I knew I saw you somewhere, but my memory is just so bad. Um, it's untelling because I watch a lot of people. I watch a lot of different people, and most of them don't like each other. That's why I just don't. That's why I just don't chat. See, I kind of stay to myself. I don't really talk to anybody behind the scenes here and there. Um, that way, I don't have any drama because I don't got the nerves for that or the time. I got enough drama going on with these damn animals. Okay, I saw something about a body found in a suitcase. I wanted to read about that. Human remains found in luggage in Florida waterway on Texas Ranch. Okay, so to finish up on the Carlee Russell, I'm just going to pray for her and her family because they damn sure need it. Now, her parents, they seem like good people, and they didn't deserve this. I think they patted Carlee's pudding too much for her. I mean, she got a new damn car for graduation, probably that Mercedes. It looks like they're still patting her damn pudding for her. But prayers for them, they didn't deserve that. And she needs professional help. But she also needs to be held accountable for her actions. Oh, my nose is stopping it. Oh my gosh, guys. An 8-year-old boy ordered a gun online, had it delivered to his home. He learned how from hackers he met playing games. Are you kidding me? So it says a Dutch mother. Okay, so it traveled through Poland and Bulgaria. Wow. Just a few clicks, he bought a gun, but he's in another country. We'll check that out. Uh-oh. I was correct. BTK serial killer calls accused Long Island serial killer Rex Heuermann a copycat clone. Ooh, let's read this real quick. See what BTK. BTK is jealous of Rex Heuermann, however the hell you say that weirdo's name. I'm telling you guys, this guy is like a freaking giant. I mean, it probably took less than 4 minutes for him to strangle his victims. His hands and stuff so damn big. They say it takes about 4.5 minutes to strangle somebody to death. Oh, thank you, Betty. Thank you. Well, there's a couple people that don't like me, but it's from a long time ago. I try to stay out of trouble. I just try to treat people the way they treat me. And if somebody's never done nothing to me, you know, I'm not going to dislike them unless they're just a crappy person, and I've sat back and watched them do crappy things, then I'll dislike them. Okay. Okay, so there's BTK. You can write BTK to prison, but he will not talk about his crimes. I wonder if that Rex played football in school. I mean, he's a giant. My son's made like that. Like he's a big guy. Big guy. He's not fat. He used to be a little chubby when he was younger, but he's got tall. I mean, his hands, you're to see the bottom of my son's legs, how big around they are. I mean, he's just a big made guy like my grandfather. BTK serial killer Dennis Rader, who was arrested in 2005 after killing 10 people in Kansas. I didn't know that was in Kansas. Claims accused Long Island serial killer Rex Heuermann is a copycat after hearing details surrounding the Gilgo Beach murders. In an exclusive interview with Fox News Digital, Rader said he spotted numerous similarities between himself and Rex, who was arrested in Manhattan on July 13th for the deaths of 3 women found at Long Island's Gilgo Beach in 2010. They think he had a soundproof room in his house, too, guys. Okay, Rex is 59-year-old married architect. His wife's divorcing him, by the way, now, with 2 children who had been living unnoticed in Passapequa, is that how you say that? Park home near the former Nassau County Police Academy while commuting to Manhattan for work. I was arrested age 59, married 2 kids, Rader said in a letter to Fox News Digital. Husband, dad, longtime serial killer, stalker, used electronic devices, lives in a neighborhood undetected. Hey, BTK's right. You know that BTK actually installed home security systems at one time? Hmm. So Heuermann is charged with the death of 3 of the 4 women known collectively as the Gilgo Four. The bodies were found within days of each other on Gilgo Beach in 2010. All 4 women were buried in burlap sacks. He's now charged with six counts of murder in the deaths of Melissa Bartholomew, I don't know how to say that right, 24, Megan Waterman, 22, Amber Lynn Costello, 27, and is the prime suspect in the death of 25-year-old Maureen Barnes. In 2005, police arrested Rader years after he eluded and taunted investigators and the media. His trial of digital evidence is what eventually helped police capture him. He then nicknamed himself BTK, which stands for Bind, Torture, Kill. Oh, yeah, he actually was communicating with the police, like through letters and stuff. And he actually asked them, like, I guess something like, could they trace, like, pull up deleted information, like on a floppy disk or something like that. And of course, they lied to him and said no. But so he sent them something on a floppy disk, and they were able to pull up something of where he did work for the church. I guess that floppy disk might have come from the church or something. That's how they eventually tracked him down. And they got DNA from his daughter's pap test. Yeah, she had like a pap smear done or something like that. And then that's how they found him. DNA and electronics, uh, his downfall, much like me, Rader wrote, adding that he was correct about his predictions of the Long Island serial killers that he made years ago. Further, Rader's former wife filed for divorce shortly after his arrest. Earlier this week, Rex's wife filed for divorce in Suffolk County. I don't blame her. She must have been out of town a lot. If he had a soundproof room and stuff, that means he would have brought victims back there. My first question when a long sought suspect in multiple murders is caught is, does he have a family? Rader's daughter, Carrie Rawson, asked. My family's life was upended 18 years ago, February 2005, when we got that noonday knock and simple notification from the FBI. Your father is BTK. From my own long experience and my family's, I ask Huerman's wife and children be treated with dignity and respect, granted privacy, and time to begin to wrap their heads and hearts around what is unfolding. Yeah, I mean, it's not their fault. Nobody, I guess nobody never suspects their partner of a long time is a freaking serial killer. I think I would notice things like that myself, wouldn't y'all? Meanwhile, Huerman remains behind bars at the Suffolk County Correctional Facility in Riverhead without bail. Suffolk County Sheriff Errol Tolan said Huerman is in an isolated cell alone, appears to be comfortable. He's in the cell by himself. He's receiving all the services that any other person who's incarcerated will receive. It seems like he's very comfortable in his cell and surroundings. He indicated to my staff that he would not be any issue to us and would be extremely compliant. So we'll see how that plays out in the days and weeks ahead. He's also on suicide watch, according to Toulon, who said it was pretty standard for someone that comes in with the case of this type of notoriety. Okay. Our mental health staff will reevaluate him to see if they actually do feel he has suicidal tendencies. Toulon added that they monitor and videotape him 24 hours a day, and all inmate movements stop when he is moved from one place to another within the jail. So all the inmates, whatever they're doing, they have to like stop while they're moving this Rex, the giant, around. Anybody that comes into jail through booking or anything, once they book you and stuff, the nurse comes out there. They do take your blood pressure. They ask you a lot of questions. They take your oxygen level. Um, like if you're a diabetic or anything, you actually get you get extra food. Um, like a snack, like bananas, apples, just whatever your needs are. If you're pregnant or have something wrong with your hips or legs, you do get two mattresses. I'm trying to remember what the name of those, the jail stuff's called. It's Bob. I can't remember. Was it Bob White stuff? I can't remember the name of the stuff, but they order from this certain company. But my mind's went blank, so I can't think of it. Okay, let's see what else it's saying about this weirdo. Then I want to read about that body in the suitcase. Did Gilgo Beach suspect Rex Heuermann have soundproof room? Okay, let me click on this. But let me look at chat a sec. If I can get it pulled back up. It's loading slow. Sometimes after I've been streaming a while, when you switch tabs, it just loads really slow. There we go. I just don't understand how anyone can kill another person unless it's for self-defense or protection. I can understand that, but to just do it, I don't know. They've got to have some type of evil in them. Now, this Rex Heuermann, he was probably a weirdo as a child. Y'all want to know the strange thing about BTK? He was not abused as a child. He had a good childhood with good, honest parents. Good parents. And look how he turned out. He was always a weirdo, even as a child. Just like Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was just a weirdo from a child. Just his whole damn life, he was a weirdo. And a lot of people like to say it's because he found out that what he thought was his sister was really his mom. They think that that had a lot to do with it. I think he was just a weirdo. Like when he was about 4 or 5 years old, Ted Bundy laid like knives around like his aunt or cousin, something like that, while they were sleeping. He was just a weirdo. Ted Bundy blamed his violence on pornography, though, which is bullcrap. There's a lot of people that watch pornography, which I think's gross, and they're not murderers. Now, this Rex guy, he had violent porn inside of his house. I guess they were saying that maybe he used to watch that violent porn before going out on a hunt. Like Ed Kemper, he was just a giant of a man. He was so docile around like the cops and everybody, Betty. So docile. I just watched something about him. You know, when he killed his mother, he cut her head off and molested her head. You know that, right? Hmm. He was one sick individual. He even had a head, I believe, buried in the yard. See, his mom worked at the college, and that's who he targeted. He'd get into it with his mom, and then he'd go target those co-eds. And he said each time it just escalated the violence, each time. Yes, Mike, he cut off his mother's head and molested it. Then put it on the mantle. They found her head on the mantle, I believe. Pretty sure. Yeah. He was a freaking giant, though. Sure was. You ought to see him in some of those, some video footage when they're bringing him out of the cell. He is a giant. You guys just don't know unless you see that video. I mean, he is a giant. He's bigger than this Rex guy, I believe. Let's see what it's saying about this weirdo. Okay, a neighbor of accused Long Island serial killer Rex Heuermann says cops told them they found a soundproof room in the 59-year-old's basement. The, this guy is a wacko. 64-year-old Robert Musto, a retired Long Island Railroad worker, told the New York Post on Sunday. Police have been on the scene at Rex's ramshackled home since his arrest on July 13th and were seen over the weekend in the home's backyard, where they dismantled a deck. Heuermann has pleaded not guilty to the murders of 3 women whose bodies were found on Gilgo Beach in December 2010. He's been named the prime suspect in the death of a 4th woman who, like the other 3, was found on just off the roadway of Gilgo Beach wrapped in burlap. I told Mark yesterday, Fox News, was talking about it a lot. I said, he's loving this. Serial killers love getting attention for their work. Their work, they call it. They love it. I bet he loved it when Lifetime come out with that movie, The Long Island Serial Killer, which I just watched the other day. Here's some of his victims. Let me share their pictures because they deserve it. Very high IQ for a lot of serial killers. Yeah. You know that Ed Kemper actually helped this one detective try to catch a killer. Hmm. He's got a soundproof room in the basement, Musto told the Post. Cops told him. What do you think that was for? They're saying there's evidence he killed at least one of the girls down there, he said. The cops are going to dig all that out. Said they focused on the soundproof room in the basement, but they're going to look at everything. Cleocatra, get out the dog food. I'm telling y'all guys, this cat's driving me crazy. Get out of that. She's into everything, guys. Now, Zoe's the good sister. You don't hear a peep out of her. Cleo, she rules this house. It's because this is all she's ever known. I've raised her on a syringe and replacement milk. Okay, so here's the victims. Cops are going to dig that out. They're focused on the soundproof room in the basement, but they're going to look at everything. Here's some of the victims: Melissa Bartholomew, Maureen Barnes, Amberlynn Costello, Megan Waterman. All pretty girls. They all look similar too. She looks a little bit different than the rest of them, but they're all pretty. I guess he didn't have a specific hair color. Investigators have not described the interior of the house, though thoroughly searched it, and have named only a few of the items they found. An interior designer said last week that Rex stopped her from going into a locked room in the basement, which he said contained guns. Police Commissioner Rodney Harrison has said that investigators found between 200 and 300 weapons in the house. Wow, 200 and 300? Why would you need that many weapons? Human only had a license for 92 guns. So he only had a license for 92 of them. They didn't charge him for that too. Stupid son of a bitch. There's been speculation, including from Crime Online's Nancy Grace, that Heuermann may have killed one or more of his victims in the house, since police have said that his wife and children were out of state when 3 of the victims were killed. Law enforcement source told the Post that investigators were looking for evidence that might show the victims in the house, but have found nothing yet. If he killed any of them in the house and they bled or anything, they might find something, even if it's one little spot. You always leave something behind, a hair. Sometimes you don't, but most of the time. Hey, if anybody ever kidnaps you and you're in the vehicle, guys, you make sure if you can, rip some of your hair out and hide it somewhere. Cops will know you're there if they do happen to find the perp in the vehicle. Investigators had ground penetrating radar and cadaver dogs on the property, while state troopers described a major excavation taking place in the back. Last week, police searched a pair of nearby storage units belonging to him. They also impounded 2 Chevrolet Avalanches, including an older model they took from a secluded property he owns in Chester County, South Carolina. He could have killed people down there. A witness reported a large man driving a Chevy Avalanche may have been connected with the death of Amber Costello. 7 other bodies, including a man and a toddler, have been found along the highways where the so-called Gilgo 4, Costello, Megan Waterman, Melissa Bartholomew, Maureen Barnes, were found. But so far, police have not linked those deaths to Rex Heuermann. He's also charged in the deaths of Costello, Waterman, Bartholomew, and suspected in the death of Barnes. Okay, that's the end of that. Now, I want to read about these human remains found. Let me stop screen sharing a sec. My switch. My rooster's over cutting my feed. I'm going to have to get off here in a minute and go see what's up with him. Scratch and spit on everything you can. Yes. Yes. If you're laying down, got you laying down, you just let spit drool out of your mouth onto the seats and everywhere. If you can, make sure to rip your hair out though. It needs to be by the root. Mike, Cleocatra, I love it. Oh my gosh, that cat, Mike. Like little Zoe right now, she's just sitting over here on my little bar stool. I put it in front of my storm door here, glass door, so she can watch the birds. She's so good. And little Cleo's into everything she's not supposed to be into. Y'all know she went in there. We had a cannabis plant growing. She went in there and dug it up a while back. $30 seed. Yeah. Yeah. She's bad for that. She rules this house. She's the queen. But I love her because she's so mischievous. She just does what she wants. And she actually cries and screams until I pick her up and let her lay across my shoulder. And I carry her around like that and pet her and sing to her and all kinds of things. Okay. Investigators on Florida's Atlantic coast near San Antonio in Texas are looking at separate incidences of human remains found in suitcases over the past week. The Delray Beach Police Department said a person called on Friday reported seeing something strange in the intercoastal waterway. Detectives found a suitcase in the water with human remains. Shortly thereafter, found 2 more suitcases nearby, also containing human remains. The medical examiner determined the victim was a white or Hispanic middle-aged woman, brown hair, about 5 feet 4 inches tall. She may have had tattooed eyebrows, the department said. She was wearing a floral tank top, black undershirt, black mid-thigh shorts. A day earlier, more than 1,300 miles away, Bexar County deputies in Texas got a suspicious package call about a piece of luggage with what appeared to be human remains inside on a ranch in the county. Sheriff Javier Salazar said. I guess that's how you say that. Javier, maybe. The first inclination, of course, is to assume it's a homicide scene, Salazar said. At this point, all we really know is we've got partial human remains out here. Well, they're saying partial. The medical examiner is investigating, but had so far not determined cause, manner of death, age, or gender. Salazar said the remains were discovered by people who had come out to feed animals, found a piece of luggage out in the middle of the property. Oh my goodness. The property owners were out of town, he said, but were cooperating. There wasn't really a whole lot of effort to hide the body other than it was inside a suitcase, he said. Salazar also said investigators had found some spots where burning had taken place, and the fire marshal's office was assisting to determine if those spots were involved. He noted that it was fairly common to burn trash in the area, however. Wow. 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 So somebody. So are those. I don't understand. Is it 2 separate bodies? I'm going to have to play this. There's a little clip down here. Let me screen share it because I am confused as usual. So there's the floral tank top this young lady was wearing. May have had tattooed eyebrows. I like to have tattooed eyebrows. Is he talking yet?
Afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We're out here at the scene of a body that's been dumped.
Damn,
What we
cute.
have at this point is that we're at the location, saw a duffel bag of some sort, piece of luggage out in the middle of the property. They began investigating it and found what appears to be human remains. At this point, we don't know anything about gender of the remains or how long the remains have been out here. But we are in the process of processing the scene right now. It's very, very early in the investigation. So, while the first inclination, of course, is to assume that it's a homicide scene. At this point, all we know is that we've got partial human remains out here, and we won't be able to determine cause of death, manner of death, or the identity of the victim for some time. Esta mañana, aproximadamente las 10:45 de la mañana, unas personas que estaban aquí dándole a tragar a varios animales que están en la propiedad vieron una maleta negra dentro de la propiedad. Cuando ellos investigaron la maleta, ellos encontraron un cuerpo humano. En ese momento ellos nos hablaron en esos momentos. Ahorita no se sabe si la persona es hombre, mujer, causa y la identidad dentro de la propiedad, y dentro de esa maleta encontraron dentro de esa maleta.
No saben si dejaron la bolsa ahí hoy.
Ahorita no se sabe si alguien trajo el cuerpo dentro de la maleta y lo dejaron aquí. Now it's just too early to tell, obviously, cause or manner of death or the identity of the person. At this point, we can't even really tell the gender. But what we can tell you is that at this point, we are applying for a search warrant. We will come back. Obviously, we're going to stay here on the property, but we're getting a search warrant to finish processing the scene. And at that point, we may know a little bit more. But at this point, it's just too early to tell if the person was killed here or if they were brought here in that piece of luggage and then dumped here. Es un hogar donde alguien vive. Ahorita la persona que viven, las personas que viven aquí no están en la propiedad. Ya hemos hablado con ellos, están fuera del pueblo, pero ahorita ellos ya vienen de regreso. Ellos aquí venden animales, venden gallinas y caballos. Entonces en eso se queda. Pero ahorita no se sabe si las personas que viven aquí están involucradas. Sí están cooperando con nosotros en estos momentos.
Sé que están esperando por el médico forense para que se continúen la investigación.
Sí, ahorita estamos esperando el médico forénsico que vengan a ayudarnos. También los bomberos van a llegar para ayudarnos en procesar la escena. No se sabe si alguien intentó de quemar el cuerpo o si solamente estaban quemando basura cerca del cuerpo. Entonces nosotros hay varias áreas donde tenemos interés revisar.
Y última pregunta, ¿estamos hablando de un cuerpo o de huesos?
Es un cuerpo. Yes, sir. At this point, we are waiting on the medical examiner, but additionally, the fire marshal is going to come out and help us out. There's some areas of interest that it appears there's been an effort to burn. It's possible that may not be related to the body at all. Out here, we know it's pretty common in a rural area for people to burn trash. And so at this point, we don't know if that's directly involved, but the fire marshal is going to come out and try to help us with finding some burn spots and seeing if it's related. No, en la loma, arriba de la loma.
That was my question. Was it just in a random area?
No, if you can see that hill behind me with the rocks. It's actually on the backside of that hill.
But it wasn't kind of covered in something, or was it just kind of?
It was, yeah. It wasn't really there wasn't really a whole lot of effort to hide the body, other than it was inside of a suitcase. It was just that it was just inside of a suitcase, but there really was no effort to hide it that I could see. Okay, thank you. Oh, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
I was saying, you said that the property owners are cooperating.
Yeah, the property owners they're out of town right now, but they are cooperating with the investigation to this point. At this point, I wouldn't be able to say that they're related or not related to what we've found, but they are cooperating. Fueron dos personas que estaban aquí dando de tragar a los animales. Okay. Gracias.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay, so he speaks Spanish. That was pretty cool. I've never saw a sheriff that was wait, how do you call that, bilingual? That was speaking English and Spanish to the reporters at the news conference. That's pretty cool. Hey, he was a damn good looking sheriff too. Cuff and stuff me, baby. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. Anyhow, we'll have to follow this and see what's up with it. I bet that these two cases are related. Okay, one suitcase with a woman found in a waterway, and this suitcase is found on a ranch. Um, Texas. It was in Texas. I can't remember exactly what part of Texas. Let me go look real quick. Then I'm gonna have to get off here. I keep hearing my rooster cutting a fit. Um, and I'm gonna have to go see what he's pissed off about. Something's pissing him off. Let me see. Human remains found in Florida waterway and on Texas ranch. San Antonio. So the first suitcase, investigators on Florida's Atlantic coast near San Antonio in Texas are looking at separate incidences of human remains found in suitcases over the past week. Okay. And then 13 a day earlier, before they found that suitcase in the waterway, a day earlier, more than 1,300 miles away in Bexar County, deputies in Texas got a suspicious package call about a piece of luggage with what appeared to be human remains inside on a ranch in the county. That's what the sheriff said. So they was more than 1,300 miles away. Two separate bodies. I bet they're connected, guys. I was confused at first. I didn't know if, like, they found maybe half of a body in one suitcase and the other body parts in another suitcase 1,300 miles away. But no, it looks like there's two different bodies. I bet they are connected. Hope no one's. Hey, I got it locked up, Mike. I've got one of those bicycle locks around my door with the combination thing on it, and I keep it locked. But if somebody's over there throwing big pieces of cantaloupe with the hull and all in there, which I hate when they do that, they throw it under the trampoline, then it's hard for me to get that out. And I don't like my chicken lot to have like a rotted food and stuff in it. Like when I get my chickens like watermelon and stuff, I take it inside of the fence and set it down, let them pick it all out, and then I take it back out before dark. Yeah, I believe it's common for them to be bilingual in Texas. Well, that's pretty cool because nobody's like that around here. I think that's pretty cool to have a sheriff like that. It's untelling what Sonny's mad about, Mike. You should have seen him the other evening. He was madder than hell. He was trying to go to bed, put the sister wives up, and somebody was letting off big fireworks up in the sky. And he was bitching and complaining, doing his rooster stuff. And I was like, be quiet, rooster. He was so mad that I couldn't even move a foot. He would try to get me through the fence. He would charge the fence. He's gotten meaner as he's gotten older. That rooster used to be on my porch, and I could stand out there with him and feed him, which he pecked me a few times. He's always a little bit mean. He's extremely mean. If you was to go on that fence with him, he would attack you. You could try to defend yourself with a stick, and he'd still keep attacking you. He is mean as hell. But I love him. He's old. He's about 6 years old now. Yeah, he's getting old. He looks different where the top of his cone fell off. It got frostbite. Why if that's very common to happen. That's not because of neglect or anything. It got wet and the temperatures was cold. It turned black. It fell off. Why he just didn't stay in the chicken coop, I don't know. But next winter, if it gets real cold like that, like it did this past winter, I'm not letting my chickens out. They have a heater in there. I'm just going to put their food and everything inside of the coop. No, it didn't grow back. It fell off. It turned black like the tips of it and it fell off. Yeah. So he don't have it like sticking up no more. He looks different. You'll have to take a picture of him, CC, and send it to me. I will. I'll try to fix it where it's like side by side and you can see where his comb's different. That rooster's tough as hell. I found him laying in my yard unconscious. One of Mark's friends come up here and blew up his butt. Yeah, you lift up the rooster's tail. You don't stick your mouth right to their butt, but you blow up it, and it gives them an adrenaline rush. He knew to do that because he grew up around cockfighting, which I'm totally against. But it brought Sonny back to life. That's the truth. And I believe they can live about 15 years. But sometimes chickens will just fall dead. Like I had what do you call that? My red hen, Henny Penny. She just fell dead. I went and opened up the chickens one morning. I noticed she didn't come out. I had walked around the back of the chicken coop when I opened the door. So I didn't know she was laying in front of the door dead. It looked like she had just fell off the perch dead. Their hearts will just give out on them. That evening before, she was fine. She was eating, drinking, pooping. She'd laid eggs that day. Sometimes their hearts just give out on them. They'll just fall dead. We buried her. Henny Penny. So I've only got 4 hens now. I started out with 6. When they were a few months old, one of my white ones, I was letting them free range, and I came home to get something, went straight back over there. I couldn't find nothing but feathers. Dog had killed her. My neighbor grabbed her up real quick, so I went and see her. Buried her. So I was down to 5 hens. Then Henny Penny died. I believe it was 2 years ago, maybe. 2 years ago. Hey, Carolina girl, let me give you a late slip. I'm getting ready to get off here, girl. You're going to have to catch the replay. This morning, I was trying to find us some new member emojis. Everything I tried, too big. It's got to be a certain size. So I'm going to have to, I was trying to do it on my laptop. I'm going to have to get some little emojis, resize them. I'm going to get us some summer stuff, flamingos, stuff like that. Resize them, then upload them to my laptop. Then upload them to my members emojis. So, hey, anybody want to join the membership? Join the membership. Help out the little kitties around in the holler. I call them the holler cats. And by the way, guys, little Cookie she's starting to take up with me. She's starting to enjoy little scratches on the heads and stuff. I'm back. I had to take a phone call. Please pray for my friend's son that's in his 30s. His kidneys are shutting down. They can't find the calls. Oh my gosh. Y'all, please pray for Knitting Artisan's friend's son. 30 in his 30s. That's young. I'm telling you. Prayers. I'll remember him in my prayers for sure. Y'all, please remember my cousin's family in y'all's thoughts and prayers. You know, they just buried her yesterday. Did I tell y'all she died of E. coli? Yeah, that's what the cause was. She had been to the doctor several times. See, they thought that her filing when she was leaving work out in the parking lot had something, because she took a hard file. They thought it had something at first to do with her illness. It might have ruptured her bowels. No, she had been to the doctor a couple different times for that last ER trip. They took her to emergency surgery, and she was on a ventilator from there on. But they told her nothing was wrong with her stomach or something. But where she had that E. coli something got infected, guys. It got in her bloodstream. She had gangrene, and they took so much of her stomach out. See, my mom thought they took her leg off because she was getting information from my aunt, who actually has like a learning disability and stuff. They were talking about doing that, but they actually didn't go through with it. They removed some of her stomach or something, intestines. Because I kept telling my mom, that don't make sense. She fell and it ruptured her bowels like that. She got that sick. That don't make sense. I guess the file really didn't have much to do with it. Just so happened she took a big fall. Hurt like hell. She went camping with her mom and dad and siblings after that. she wouldn't get in the water. They said that was real weird. She's a water dog. Said she didn't feel good. And 2-3 days after that, she's in a coma on a ventilator and dead. Myself, I wouldn't have unplugged her. I would have let them went on and done the surgery. Me and my mom was talking about that. I think I'm trying not to judge or anything, but I think that I would have held out just a little bit longer to see, but that was their decision, so got to respect it. That's just the way I would have tried to have held out a little bit longer, but they done 2 brain scans, but sometimes them can be wrong. They said she moved her hands and stuff after they took her off the ventilator. Get this, guys. They said her blood pressure went back to normal. And get this. I didn't know this. They took her off the ventilator. I thought she died as soon as they took her off. No, she didn't die till 1 o'clock the next day. Like 1:08 or something. So, it was their decision, but I don't know. I think I would have held out. But prayers for them. You never know what you'll do, I guess. I shouldn't be judgmental till you're in that situation. Thank you, Carolina girl. Thank you, Knitting Artisan. Oh, thank you, Knitting Artisan. I appreciate you putting her on a prayer list. And my uncle would too. Because he's a preacher, guys. Oh, and get this. I told y'all she didn't have no burial insurance. Well, my cousin Gary, my granny's sister's son, which is my mom's first cousin, my granny's sister Rita passed away. So Gary moved up here. He has a little bit of a learning disability too. But he went to the funeral home and paid $7,000 cash for Emily's funeral. My uncle was going to make payments on it, and the church had gave him some on it. But cousin Gary went and paid $7,000 cash on Emily's funeral and $100 on her tombstone. He sure did. He sure did. That was a blessing. That was a blessing because that's one less thing they got to worry about. I mentioned to Mom, I was like, Mom, I can call Uncle Robert and set up a GoFundMe for him, and he'll just have to link his bank account to it and share it online. And she's like, no, he don't want nobody doing that. He said he'd pay for it himself. My family, they got a lot of pride and stuff. And then Uncle Gary or Cousin Gary, he went and paid for it. So that was awesome. Yeah, she's gonna be buried. She was buried beside her grandmother, her Robert's wife's mother. So yes, it was a huge blessing, huge blessing. So now all they gotta do is finish paying for the tombstone. And the church, I think they gave them some money on it, so they'll use that on it. But yeah, I can't believe it, guys. We've not had a death like in our immediate family, like my granny's sisters and stuff has died. My cousin Teddy died in his early 50s from cancer. And let me tell you how cool. He was a horse rider. So when they took him to the graveyard, it was with a horse and wagon on a fancy little wagon thing. They said that was his last ride because he loved to ride those painted horses. Indian horses is what I used to call them. They look like Native American horses like you see on the Western paints, they call them. So that was pretty cool. But anyways, or if they can't figure it out, he will not make it. Well, everybody, please remember Knitting Arson's friend's son in thoughts and prayers. What's his name, Knitting Arson, so we know who we're praying for? Just put his first name in the chat. The Lord knows who we're talking about. But I like to put a name with it when I'm praying. Zach. Everybody, please remember Zach in your thoughts and prayers. I have faith he'll come through this. They'll figure it out. Emily was at one of the best hospitals in this country. She was at the University of Kentucky. They was going to do another surgery and remove some more of her stomach and stuff, and my cousin wouldn't let them, her mom. She made them do a brain scan. They done two. She didn't want her to die down there in surgery. If she's going to die, she wanted her to die with her by her side and the rest of the family. It was so beautiful. I don't know if I told y'all this, but Emily's little brother, Jay, he's just like 4th or 5th grade. He held her hand and he said, I'll take care of your cat, Sissy. Don't worry about them. I'll take care of them. And said she went and died. Because she's like me. Big time animal lover. Big time. I don't know what they're going to do with the little dog. I'll take it. If they can't, because I know my uncle's got like a little Boston Terrier already, and CJ has the animal. So if it don't have a home, I'll take it. He's only 34 years old. Thank you. Hey, no problem. No problem. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Anyways, y'all have a great day. I'll see y'all in the morning for some crime and coffee. Be safe, be kind. Peace.